There's the red light. I'll have to figure out why the front screen is off. Alright, well hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I make sense and you can understand what I'm saying. Welcome to my new camera system. But I wanted to test this out, see how my audio is going to work. I may have to drop the gain on it a few notches. I do want to start off by saying this is not a sponsored video. I purchased these cameras with my money. I talked to enough friends of mine who have switched over away from GoPro that they convinced me to try it, and so I'm going to try it. I have not been paid to do this. They did not provide the cameras for free. I bought the cameras and the accessories and set it up myself. But yeah, we're going to go ride around on Rampart Range Road and test these cameras. Mostly, to be honest, I'm testing the audio. There are some minor differences between this camera from the GoPro. The main one is field of view. In the ultra-wide setting, this supposedly has an even wider field of view than GoPro's Super View. And mostly I'm testing my mic adapter, and audio gain. See what it comes out like. Hopefully I'm not just blowing out my mic. It started as +6 on the gain, and even just sitting there in the house with the helmet on, I was peaking out. So I dropped that down to 0. I may have to drop that down to -4 or something like that, but we'll find out. I also want to see how good it does with wind noise. But yeah, we're gonna go ride. It's 82 degrees, it's a little warm. But yeah, so this is the DJI Osmo Action 4. There is supposedly a 5 coming out sometime maybe this year, but I don't really care that much. I shoot in 1080p at 60 frames a second. I don't have any real excuse for going up to like 4K and stuff, unless I was shooting cinematic things, and so I just don't. So I've been using the GoPro 11s. Haven't had a whole lot of complaints about the 11s. The 9s, as I stated previously, were basically hot boxes of garbage. They would randomly cut your audio out, they would randomly overheat, they would not record footage, freeze up all the time. They're just glitchy as hell. Never used the 10s, so I don't know. And the 11s worked pretty well. I was using a GoPro 11 Mini for my rear-facing camera. That tended to freeze up more than the helmet cam. There was something with the battery on that. Like it wouldn't take a charge sometimes, and it would just be weird. So, I don't know. Most of the time the head cam was good. I never really had an issue with it cutting audio out, overheating. It froze up maybe once or twice when I left it just out in the sun charging. But that was it. That was the only examples of that. But enough people have talked to me about how much better the Osmo is to where I'm at least willing to take a chance on it. So far, the stuff that I like about it, I will say that it is noticeably lighter than the 11s, especially with the microphone adapter. The microphone adapter on the 11 is kind of bulky, and the big thing that I'm liking about them so far is the magnetic attachment, because I was able to do like what I just did, where I could take the camera off the helmet while still wearing the helmet. I didn't have to undo a thumb screw or do any of that stuff to look at the camera and figure out what was going on. It was pinch the mount and pull the camera off and look at it. So I'm liking that. The charging seems to work fine, so that's good. I am using a 90-degree adapter on the USB side here, just because I know I'm only using that to charge the camera. And I don't like having wires sticking straight out of my camera, get hung up on something or rip the camera off the helmet or whatever. I did have to move my wires over to the other side of the helmet because the adapter is reversed from GoPro, but that took me 2 seconds. My mic is in a slightly different location in the helmet, so we'll see what that does to my audio. I can pretty much touch it with my tongue. It's like right outside the corner of my mouth. But it's further away from my vents, so hopefully the audio quality will be even better in terms of wind noise because it's further away from my vents. I don't like taping over the vents on my helmet. I know Ian does from Big Rock Moto. I need the ventilation. There's times I'm working hard, man. I gotta have air. And a lot of times I'm riding with my visor open anyway, so what difference does it make? I do wish that the LED indicating that it's recording was just a little brighter because it's just a little hard to see in my mirror. This one's fine. I can see it just fine. But when I'm looking in my mirror, it's a little bit difficult to tell if I'm recording or not. I will say that with the mount, this sits up about half an inch higher on the helmet than the GoPro did. So it might make the view a little bit better. This camera also sits up a little bit higher, so I'm not sure that that's going to help. But it's a overall slightly shorter camera than the GoPro anyway, so it's not too far different. Let's see, what else has been going on? Not a whole lot. I got back to Colorado end of June from NorCal, and I've been editing footage like mad. Got through 2 TAT videos, and I'm working on part 3 of my veterans documentary. That's been most of my life for the last little bit. The other thing I'm looking at is color and crispness. I did notice after I put the circular polarizers on my GoPros that the sharpness of the overall image actually dropped off significantly, which I was not a fan of. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I like these cameras. If I do like them, if I'm able to get them to work pretty well, I will pretty much sell off the GoPro stuff because I just don't need it anymore. Part 2 of my veterans documentary published on July 4th. I've had a pretty good response to that. I haven't had anybody say that they didn't like it, so that's nice. And my favorite view in the park. So the settings that I did for the cameras right now are 1080p at 60, Real Steady, not Real Steady Plus, which crops the image a little bit. So I upped the sharpness to 2 and I upped the denoise to 1. So the idea is to have it as crisp as possible. I'm not really going for cinematic motion blur in my videos because it just washes out the details and then you can't see the terrain. And I have the gain at 0. I get the feeling I may need to bump the gain down to like -4, -6. I got one of the bundles, so I have 2 more batteries in here on a charger, just in case I manage to kill a camera battery. Don't have a whole lot of other riding planned for the summer. I decided I am going to go and try and finish the Colorado TAT. That may be in a little while. There's a couple of guys from Australia that came out, and they're going to end up riding at least some parts of my Continental Divide hard way on Teneres. They're currently riding around. They're doing the Idaho BDR. Their bikes, they shipped their bikes over, and it sounds like they got delayed customs. So they're trying to do some other stuff on rental bikes. And so they're going to do like the Idaho BDR, maybe some other stuff, not sure. But when they come through Colorado, I might go ride some stuff with them. Yeah, other than that, it's basically just edit footage. a lot of footage. The veterans documentary is definitely taking the majority of my time because I still have parts 3 and 4. But yeah, haven't been riding very much. I've just been editing, you know. That's the reality of it. You know, you go and do these things, that's fine. But then oh god. Oh, yeah, hi. But then you finish it and you have 40 plus hours of footage to go through. It ain't all glamour. There's eventually a lot of work that has to be done. The other thing I kind of like about this setup is that if I had to, I could actually oh god, with these being identical cameras, if I had to, I could actually pull that camera off and put it on the helmet and just hook it up to my mic adapter if, like, I damaged a camera or one completely died and I didn't have batteries or, something like that. The other thing it allows me to do is to have identical settings on the cameras so that I'm not fighting with what camera's on what settings, which viewpoint is different, which color grading is different. That's why I was using GoPro for so long, was because I knew that the overall camera settings were identical, and so I didn't have to worry about getting different quality footage out of different cameras. This actually got kind of ate up. But yeah, they are lighter than the GoPros. Slightly different dimensions, although when you put the cage on them, which I did just for support and protection in case I eject one off of the bike while I'm riding, they're about the same size. Yeah. Still recording. It really is just going to come down to what is the audio like. I did switch to a different lav mic. I'm using the DJI, I think it's just the DJI lav mic, I think is what it's called. But the thing that's nice about it is that it has a 90-degree bend for the 3.5mm mic jack. Ugh. And so again, I don't have a bunch of wires sticking straight out the side of my helmet to get hung up on stuff. Like, the last thing I want to do is catch a branch with my mic cable and just absolutely destroy my camera setup. Ugh, God. That is the problem with Rampart. It is highly over-trafficked. There was a guy in the Northern Colorado Adventure Riders group, I think he got booted, but he posted a video of him up on Rampart, just literally cutting through the woods, supposedly because he got off trail and got lost, which anybody who's ridden Rampart understands that that's not possible. You can literally just follow any one of those trails and you will eventually end up back where you're supposed to. But yeah, he was saying he needed to cut through the trees and the woods to get back up to the trail and back to the road because he got lost. And of course, everybody, including me, was just like, bro, delete that shit. Like, one, you're lying, because anyone who's ridden back there understands that you cannot get lost on Rampart Range Road. Just continue following the trail, you will reconnect. And B, it makes no sense for you to need to cut through the trees. You know, if you end up somewhere in Rampart Range where you're not sure where you're at or not sure where the trail goes, just keep following it. It will reconnect to either Rampart Range Road or another road that you can follow. But none of those just like dead end or take you somewhere that you can't get out of. I mean, Tana and I found that out when we ended up on the snow back there. You just keep going. You'll get out eventually. Oh, God, that clamped my teeth together. Yeah, you know you're shaking pretty bad when it turns your phone on. The other thing I do like is how fast the cameras turn on. With the GoPros, it was very much a click, wait, 10 seconds. These, like, you press the button, it turns on and is recording. The mic adapter, I guess, takes a couple of seconds to kind of kick in. But I did want to show you just how fast these cameras turn on and start recording. So, press, recording. It really is that damn quick. We're just gonna ride. I'll worry about the audio afterwards. Because if it's peaking, that's an easy fix. will also be interested to see how much it picks up my engine noise. Because it has the wind reduction and all that stuff, and I wonder how much that'll actually step in and turn audio off. The Rode mic did a pretty good job of allowing the engine noise to come through in some circumstances. Obviously, if it's just super windy, you're not getting any of it, but yeah, Rampart is less and less fun every year, it feels like. Alright, let's get the audio gain adjusted and see if it makes a difference. So yeah, let's see how this sounds compared to the gain set at 0. It's set at 6 default, which is way too loud. So I dropped it down to -4. We'll see how that sounds, to see whether I'm peaking out or not. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to ride Rampart very much after this. God, it's just awful right now. The other thing I want to see is how the video files line up. The main reason I never went with the Insta 360 one, I had one for a little while, and the problem is when it was writing files to the memory card, the files didn't line up. You had a buffer while it was writing of 10 to 30 seconds where it's just not recording. In between it writing the video files to the memory card, the camera was not recording data. And so you just randomly lose 30 seconds of footage in the middle of a long clip. So hopefully that will not be an issue with this stuff. It shouldn't be. I haven't heard of anybody talking about that. But we'll find out. It should be fine though. Yeah, if these work, it'll be goodbye to GoPro. I'll probably keep my 11s just for general principle. Oh, it's nice to just get back out on the bike a little bit. You know, I haven't been riding much just because I've been editing. You know, it's not even all that pretty. It's not ugly, but there's nothing super special about Rampart. I've ridden it a couple dozen times. But it's just nice to be out on the bike for a little bit. I'm working on part 3 of the veterans documentary, and it's just hard because it's hard. It's just a tough subject matter. You know, it's a lot of people I love, and they're talking about just the worst times in their life, and losing friends to suicide and all that stuff. So it's just taxing to go through all of that. Still not sure what's going to happen with the Tuck documentary. We did get to see it when we were at Giant Loop. Not sure yet if Netflix or somebody's going to try and pick it up. Amazon apparently expressed some interest. Hopefully we'll know more about that by like the end of August. But for now we're just kind of in a holding pattern on that. The reception at Giant Loop was very positive. Not many dry eyes by the time that thing finished. There was a couple parts I got kind of emotional just sitting there watching it with everyone else. You know, I had seen it before, but yeah, sitting down and watching that with a bunch of other people, it was impressive. I'm really not sure what's going to be next. I don't have any film projects planned. I don't have any writing projects planned. I really just don't know. I'm kind of in limbo right now with the couple of projects that I'm working on and money, you know. I don't really have the funds to keep doing it for another summer. Not really sure what the future for everything is. You know, the channel's doing well. It's not doing amazing. It's doing good. And I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, at a certain level, it just comes down to finances. And right now I don't have the finances to be able to continue going for another year. See what my audio's like at a little bit of speed. Hopefully the wind noise isn't bad. I just have the wind reduction on standard. The problem with some of those wind reduction systems is they really mess up your just overall audio quality. That's no fun. That was pretty ate up. Oh god, that's washboarded all to hell. Mind the big rocks. Alright, getting pretty close to the end here. Let's get ABS turned back on. There's a bike. I don't know if I have a scale sensitive enough to tell the difference between them, but wouldn't mind looking and seeing what the weight difference is and stuff. It's enough on the helmet that I notice it. Yeah, it's warm.